golf is a throwing sport. And tell me in the comments that it's not. And okay, putting, I'm not really throwing it much. And chipping, I'm not really throwing it much. But when we get outside a certain distance, I am throwing the club. Just don't let go of it. And then I am throwing the club. I'm throwing the club without letting go of it. And then I'm putting the ball in the way of throwing the club. And I'm assertively throwing that club. Now the next step is, what am I throwing the club to? I can stand here and I can point over this way and I can throw the club through the ball to the left hand side. There's not much resistance or guidiness or protectiveness of the motion. If I want to throw it down the right hand side instead of the left, I put myself over here and I throw the club over there. So I can throw through the ball directionally. Now then, we've got 14 different tools in the golf bag, most of the time with different loft. So we throw the club through the ball and one ball goes higher and shorter. We can throw the club through the ball and it goes faster, lower and further. I can throw the club left, I can throw the club right, to encourage different directions. And maybe the sort of mechanics of the golf swing come into this. So say I do something stupid like bow the wrist like this, but I still need to throw the club through the ball. And if I do that, I encourage an angle in the club face that will launch the ball over there. And if I do the opposite and I cup the wrists, which gets a lot more upright, but throw the club through the ball, I get a different direction and a different shape. So I can purposely do the overall motion left, I can do the overall motion right, I can put a different angle in and create a different flight. We can also throw that club through the ball down here, through the ball down there as an intention, and I throw down there and I get a certain flight and I get a certain height. So it's left, right, down and up. So I have 97 peak height, I have 15 launch angle. So if I throw this club through the ball and up, let's see if I can get above 15 and 97 feet. Throw it up and we get a similar sort of shape, and we get 20 degrees launch angle. So I have 5 degrees more launch and we have 136 feet of peak height. So I've got 37 feet of extra height just from thinking, where am I throwing? And it includes freedom and strike. If you try and control strike on its own, you cannot control strike. If we get stuck in the box, if we go, I need to absolutely control strike, and we get stuck in here and we try and do it on its own, you can't long term control strike. We can display behaviors that statistically improve your rate of good striking, and essentially the more freedom we get, the more relaxed we get, the more venomous we get in the throw, the more strike comes as part of that action and that behavior. Now, I've never improved someone's strike by trying to improve someone's strike. I have given someone more freedom through the golf ball, and hey presto, strike comes as part of that process. After a while, they stop thinking about strike because they're too busy doing a different task, which is throwing the golf ball up there, throwing the golf club through the golf ball to get the ball to launch up there. Now, I prefer the pattern of do a behavior and see what comes out of it. So when you're under pressure and you need a certain flight to happen, if you know I do this and I get that, you've got more chance of doing it. Because in the golf swing, you've got 1.8 seconds to compute, realign, and work it out on the go. It's not enough time. But say I want to hit a draw. If I throw the club through this side of the golf ball, I'm going to go like 3 inches back. So normal setup and early, throw it through that space. I get something a little bit toe slappy, but I get a high draw because I'm working more into out because I'm throwing through this space. Now the only time that doesn't really work is when someone strangles the hell out of the golf club because that doesn't let you throw it. We've got to let the club head be thrown. And here's the golf ball, here's my normal setup. If I throw the club through this space over this side, I'm going to watch this part of the floor while I throw it through there, and I get a very different shape because as I'm throwing this side of the ball, I'm going down and across the ball to get through that point. So you can see where this idea is building up from. Firstly, can you freely throw the club head through the ball? Now there's a few different ways of thinking about this, but the more times you do it without a golf ball, the more chance you have of doing it with a golf ball. So 2 ideas here that are the same thing. Throw the club through a spot on the floor. Put the ball in the way of that throw through that space. And we get something with a little bit of zip and a little bit of oomph to it. Another version of it is make noise in the air and see where you naturally make noise. Now most people naturally make noise in this portion of the golf swing. And if I was going to kick this ball, if I go to kick it and then accelerate, it really doesn't do much good. We need to be accelerating and making noise through the ball itself in this throwing sport. So if I make noise right over here, if I wait to accelerate, does that look familiar? Because I'm not creating the action, I'm not doing the thing inclusive of the golf ball. And then I bring that throw right back down here and through that golf ball, and the strike is good, the speed is good, the shot is good. Do you now believe that it is a throwing sport? Tell me I'm wrong.